Welcome back to Authentically Parenting, everyone. Summer. Summer looks magical online, doesn't it? You know, that late sunsets, beach days, popsicles, slow mornings, happy memories. But behind closed doors, a lot of parents are quietly feeling completely overwhelmed. Kids are fighting more, the house feels louder, everyone's sleeping differently, screen time suddenly increases, right? You barely get a moment alone. And somehow, even though summer is supposed to feel fun and freeing, you feel more exhausted than before. And then comes the guilt. Why am I not enjoying this more? Why does this feel so hard? And why does everything suddenly feel so chaotic? If that's you, I'm so glad you're here listening to this today. And what I really want you to hear today is this: nothing has gone wrong in your family. Summer just changes the nervous system rhythm of the entire household. And when the rhythm changes, behavior changes too. If you're new here, my name is Jahan Vishal. I'm a conscious parenting coach and founder of Authentically Parenting, where we talked about parenting through a lens of nervous system science, emotional intelligence, connection, and real life family dynamics. And today I want to help you understand why summer can feel so emotionally intense for families and what actually helps without trying to create that perfect Pinterest summer. Because honestly, most parents don't need more pressure. They need more support, more understanding, and more realistic ways to create calm in their households. And I have some great news for you because throughout this month here on YouTube, we're going to be walking through summer parenting together. We'll be talking about things like how to handle sibling fighting without yelling, why parenting feels so emotionally exhausting sometimes, and how to stay calm during summer chaos, and also how to create more connection and emotional safety in your home during the busiest season of the year. Because I know summer brings a lot of beautiful moments, but it also brings a lot more togetherness, overstimulation, and emotional intensity for families. And I really want this month to feel supportive, practical, and deeply grounding for parents. You know, summer changes the nervous system rhythm of the whole house. You know, one of the biggest things parents don't realize is that children thrive on rhythm. Not perfection, not rigid schedules, not control, simply rhythm. And nervous system, and I kid you not, nervous system loves rhythms, love predictability. You know, and I know during school year, school naturally creates a lot of that, right? We have a consistent same mostly wake up times, breakfast time, school, lunch, transitions, homework, bedtime. Even if children maybe sometimes complain about schools or routines, right? Their nervous systems still benefit from those anchors. And then, dun dun dun, the summer arrives and suddenly everything shifts. Bedtime moves, meals become inconsistent, right? Somebody's having lunch and somebody's having breakfast at the same time, right? Screen time increases, travel changes routines, and kids are around each other constantly. And parents lose quiet moments. Transitions become less predictable. And and for many children, their nervous system starts feeling overstimulated without even realizing it. And that's when you might notice more meltdowns, tantrums, sibling fights, whining, emotional intensity. I'm bored, mom. More clinginess, or kids acting completely wild by evening time. And if I'm honest, us parents feel it too. Because adults also rely on rhythm more than we think. You may have lost your alone time, your morning peace, maybe school hour reset, your ability to think clearly. Now everybody's home. Everybody needs something. Everybody's hungry every 17 minutes. And your nervous system never fully gets a chance to exhale. I know there are moments during summer where I walk into my kitchen and it feels like everyone is talking at the same exact time. One child is asking for snacks, another one is telling me a story, someone's frustrated, someone's bored, someone's asking for screen time, and my brain starts feeling crowded, literally, right? Not because my children are doing something wrong, but because the nervous system can only process so much stimulation at one time. And I think many parents judge themselves in those moments. We tend to think like, why am I getting irritated? Why am I snapping more? I should be enjoying this more in the summer. For God's sake, it's the summertime. But overstimulation is real, especially for mothers, right, who are carrying emotional load, the mental load, the planning, the cooking, the regulating, the constant decision making. And summer can feel beautiful and exhausting at the same time. Both exist together. Now this is important. Children do not need rigid schedules all summer, but most children do need anchors. And there is a huge difference because sometimes parents swing from everything is scheduled to anything goes. When there are no predictable anchors at all, the nervous system starts floating. That's usually when the chaos increases, not because kids are bad, not because you're failing, but because the brain is constantly trying to figure out what's happening next. Predictability creates safety, and safety helps regulation. So instead of thinking, how do I control summer? I want you to shift and think, how do I create rhythm? Right? And that could look like a slower morning routine, a quiet time after lunch, outside time every afternoon, screen time at predictable times, a calming bedtime rhythm, or even simple visual routines. Younger kids especially, do so good with visuals. Even teenagers and us too, right? It doesn't have to be visual, but it could be, written. And having that in front of us really is helpful. And honestly, children usually handle transitions better when they know what to expect, right? One thing that helps tremendously is transition warnings. Instead of turn it off now, try 10 more minutes. After this episode, we're eating. Or after this episode, we're going out for a walk. 5 minutes warning. After the park, we're heading home, right? The nervous system handles change better when it has time to prepare. Even adults need that, right? Just imagine this. Somebody suddenly shutting your laptop while you're working. You feel irritated too, wouldn't you, right? I also think there is this invisible pressure around parenting. Like somehow we're supposed to create magical childhood memories every single second. And social media doesn't help, right? Everybody looks happy, relaxed, traveling, crafting, making perfect summer memories. Meanwhile, you're just trying to survive the grocery store without anybody melting down. I feel you. And I really want to normalize something because summer can bring a lot of joy, but it can also bring emotional overload. More togetherness can bring more connection, but also more conflict, especially siblings, because proximity increases friction. Kids are together all day, they get overstimulated, they invade each other's space, they get bored, and their nervous system becomes depleted. And suddenly parents feel like referees all summer long. Been there, right? That does not mean your child is failing socially. It just means that they're human beings with immature nervous systems spending many more hours together than usual. Many adults struggle with regulation after too much togetherness too. So let's talk about what actually helps. Here is a nervous system friendly summer shifts. Not perfection, not becoming the perfect summer mom, just realistic nervous system friendly shifts. All right. And here is number one, not in any particular order. Okay. Less rushing. Everything feels harder when the nervous system is rushed constantly. Sometimes slowing the morning down by even 15 minutes changes the emotional tone of the whole day. There will be less yelling, less chaos, less frantic energy. Okay. Number 2, outdoor regulation. Oh my gosh, this is must. Nature truly regulates the nervous system beautifully. Water play, walking, scooters, bicycling, barefoot grass, swimming, even sitting outside after dinner or having dinner outside in your backyard, right? Children discharge stress through movement. So I also a lot of times recommend, movement before screen time, movement after screen time. Trust me, that's going to change so much. Something so simple, right there. So, a movement, an activity that they have chosen beforehand, right? They are aware of it. This is what we do before screen time, and this is what we do after screen time, right? So there is predictability. And number 3, quiet time. We all need some quiet time, right? Even older kids benefit from quiet decompression time. It's not a punishment, it's just a nervous system recovery. It could be reading, audiobooks, drawing, Legos, resting, independent play, right? The nervous system needs moments of lower stimulation. So bring that in as part of your day, all right? Number 4, simpler expectations. Sometimes parents try to recreate school-level productivity all summer. Perfect routines, perfect learning, perfect outing, perfect memories. And what happens? Everyone ends up overwhelmed. And sometimes summer works better when we simplify things. Fewer expectations, more breathing room, more flexibility, right? It's just listening to this, I'm sure your nervous system feels good. And number 5, reduce overstimulation wherever it's possible. Not every moment needs noise, right? Sometimes lowering background TV, reducing constant activities, creating calmer transitions, or protecting slower evenings, right? Changes the whole emotional atmosphere of the whole house, because dysregulation grows in overstimulation, right? And can we please talk about the phrase that drives, I think, every parent crazy during summer? I am bored. Right? Sometimes kids say it 37 times before lunch. And a lot of parents immediately panic. I know I used to, right? We start scrambling, finding activities, offering screens, creating entertainment, planning outings, trying to fix the boredom immediately. But can I tell you something? Boredom itself is not dangerous. In fact, boredom is often where creativity, problem solving, imagination, and nervous system settling begin. The problem is that many children today are so used to constant stimulation that quiet feels uncomfortable at first, especially after months of school, screens, fast dopamine, constant activity, and entertainment, right? So when the nervous system slows down, children sometimes don't know what to do with that space. And parents often observe the discomfort too. Like we think, I should be doing more, they shouldn't be feeling bored, I'm failing. But children do not need constant entertainment to have a meaningful summer. Sometimes they actually need space to create, space to wonder, space to get resourceful, space to reconnect with themselves. That doesn't mean we ignore them coldly, but instead of panicking, we can stay calm and confident. And sometimes I'll say things like, I wonder what your brain might come up with, right? I trust you will find something. Boredom sometimes helps creativity wake up. It's okay to get bored sometimes. I know I used to panic with that. Every time that phrase was thrown to me, I'm bored, I used to panic. And I used to figure out, okay, how do I entertain? How do I, fill the gap here, this emptiness here? We don't need to, right? Because I'm telling you, some of the best play often happens after the boredom. Give this a go. But many children never reach that point because stimulation gets handed over too quickly. And this matters because constant overstimulation can make the nervous system even more emotionally reactive. There's more irritability, less frustration tolerance, more meltdowns, more dysregulation. Sometimes calmer summers actually come from doing less, not more, right? And I think one of the most healing things parents can hear is this. Maybe you can breathe here. You do not have to create a perfect summer to create meaningful memories, right? Children remember how home felt, right? They remember emotional safety, laughter, presence, connection, repair, the feeling of being emotionally seen. And some of the most beautiful summer memories happen in very ordinary moments. I'm sure you witnessed that. Like, hey, eating watermelon outside, laughing in the car, watching a movie together, late night conversations, exchanging stories, a calmer response instead of yelling, simple as that. A moment where everyone finally excels. And all these little things matters deeply. So if summer already feels overwhelming, I want you to release the pressure to do it perfectly. You are allowed to create a summer that supports your nervous system too. Because regulated parents create safer emotional environments for everyone, right? Not perfect parents, regulated ones. And if this conversation resonates with you, inside the Authentically Parenting community, our June Nervous System Sanctuary theme is from control to connection, understanding what children really need beneath behavior. And honestly, this theme fits summer parenting so beautifully because summer often brings more overstimulation, more sibling conflicts, more emotional intensity, less structure, more screen time struggles, and a lot more moments where both parents and children feel overwhelmed. So throughout the month of June, we are gently walking through topics like understanding what behavior is really communicating beneath summer meltdowns and big emotions, why parenting can feel more triggering and overstimulating during summer, how connection and co-regulation help children feel emotionally safer. And we'll also look into how to hold boundaries around screens, sibling conflicts, routines, and hard emotions without that constant yelling, shame, or disconnection. Along with nervous system tools, daily encouragement, deeper conversations, Q&As, and practical support for real-life summer parenting moments will be available too. And honestly, this is such a beautiful time to join right before summer fully begins because the goal isn't a perfect summer, it's calmer, more connected one. I'll place the link below for you in the description. And if this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What feels hardest about summer parenting for you right now? And if this video helped you feel a little less alone today, don't forget to like and subscribe because new videos come out every single week. And I'll see you in the next one. Lots of love.